Hello there, in this video we are going to attempt the try it yourself section of looping through a list. So let's begin with 6-4, glossary 2. Now that you know how to loop through a dictionary, clean up the code from exercise 6-3, page 99, by replacing your series of print calls with a loop that runs through the dictionary's keys and values. When you're sure that your loop works, add five more Python terms to your glossary. When you run your loop again, these new words and meanings should automatically be included in the output. So let's open our glossary from last time. And this is what we did. We printed each key and each value. Now let's comment out this code and create a loop. Now, as I said, when creating a loop with a dictionary, you get a lot of flexibility. You can use the items method, you can use the keys method, or you can use no method at all. Now, the values method will not work because this only gives us the values, will not work. However, keys method only gives us the keys, but we can use the keys to get the values. So keys will get the job done. So let's try using items for key comma value in glossary.items. Now we can print each key and the value. We can do key.title and we can do value. Now if you want, you can optionally do the print trick to nicely separate each item like this. Let's run our code and see. Nicely formatted. Now if you want, you can add a few more items. Let's add 4 used to loop through a collection, or let's do if used to control the flow of code, else runs when all previous conditions fail. And you can add more, but let's run our code and see if they are added. So that's the good thing about creating a loop. If you change your data, your code will have a different effect. Previously, if you wanted to print these new items, you would have to create more prints on your own. And the next way of doing the same thing would be of not using items. So you can do just key in glossary and then get the value like this, value equal to glossary key. This will give you the exact same result. Now it's up to you if you want to use the items method or not. Just to show you, this will give you the exact same result. Now we are done with exercise 6-4. Let's work on exercise 6-5, rivers. Make a dictionary containing 3 major rivers and the country each river runs through. One key value pair might be Nile and Egypt. Okay, so let's create a file called river touch rivers.py and let's open rivers. Okay, now I have already created a dictionary. Let me paste it. So Nile, Egypt, Amazon, Brazil, Yangtze, China, and we are going to loop through the dictionary and print a sentence like this: the Nile runs through Egypt. Very easy. We can use the items method here for key comma value in rivers.items print key and value. Now one thing I would like to point on is that you don't need to key comma value. You can use any name you want. These are placeholder variables. So here we have the name of river and the country, so we can do river and country. For river, comma country in river dot items. Now we can print the sentence from the problem. The Nile runs through Egypt, so we can copy and paste. Nile runs through Egypt. Now Nile will come from the river and Egypt will come from country. So it is river dot title and it is country dot title. Now let's run our code and see if we are done. Yes, that looks good enough. You can put a full stop. Now let's do the second one. Use a loop to print the name of each river included in the dictionary. Use a loop to print each name of the name of each country included in the dictionary. Well, you could copy and paste this same code if you want to, and just not print country. You can just print river in the first one. Also, we are using items to get both key and value. You have a freedom to not use one of them, so you can just do this and it will give you the same result. That's one way of solving it. Again, Python gives you a lot of freedom. You can use the keys method, you can use the values method, but this will work as well. So that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it, well, let's try it. Let's paste this code. We can do keys, just get the keys, so we will only get rivers. Just get the values and we will just get country, and this will work the exact same way. Let's run it and see. Let me comment out the part from above and see. So it works the exact same way. Again, it's up to you how you want to run a loop on your dictionary. Python gives you a lot of freedom. So let's move on to the last problem. Use the code in favorite languages. Okay, make a list of people who should take the favorite languages poll. Include some names that are already in the dictionary and some that are not. Loop through the list of people who should take the poll. If they have already taken the poll, print a message thanking them for responding. If they have not yet taken the poll, print a message inviting them to take the poll. So here we are going to use if statement inside our for loop. Let's say touch poll.py. Let me open the file. Poll. Use the code in favorite languages from page 96. So let's do that. And let's come back to the problem. Make a list of people who should take the favorite language poll. Okay. Should take. Let's say Jan and Phil should take. And some that are not, well, we can bring our Alice and Bob. Loop through the list of people who should take the poll. If they have already taken the poll, print a message thanking them for responding. If they have not taken the poll, print a message inviting them to take the poll. Okay. For name in should take, if name in favorite languages, print thanks for taking the poll. Now we can print the name and language is favorite languages and put the name. Else we can print You should take the poll. Now let's run the code. Now Jan has taken the poll and Phil has taken the poll. Both of their favorite languages are Python, and Alice and Bob should take the poll. Now this one I think we haven't discussed, that we can use an in operator on a dictionary as well. Now by default a dictionary gives you the keys, right? So in will check the item in the keys, not the value. So name, Alice or Bob will be searched in the keys, Jan, Sarah, Edward, and Phil. So Alice and Bob are not in the keys, so that's why we failed the if test and the else part ran. So this is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.